Paso, Mexico City, Stanford, and Las Vegas. Las Vegas. But going there and performing for the first time in such a long while and seeing so many people, I had a lot of thoughts running through my head. I felt like we were really connecting, and especially, although many of you probably saw it on video, you know that part during the encore, where they play a bit like a karaoke session. You know how they play random songs where you don't know what will come out. And a lot of old songs come out there. Today, for example, Attack on Bangtan came on. As far as I remember, Jin Kyung's Bangtan came out around the time of Venopinos. So it's been about 13 to 12 and a half years. It made us look back on the past, and it was a time when we could reflect on our current selves and think a lot about what we should do moving. After I've reviewed the album thoroughly, but before I begin, let me mention that around the time Jin Young did Dinner, which was about a year before we all did it. Back then, everyone's mental state wasn't very good. So when Jin Young was doing the dinner, or rather, when I was playing the saxophone, were we at Jin Young's dinner, or was it Jimin's house? Or was it our house? I think it was Jimin's house. We all gathered at Jimin's house. Back then, Jungkook was having a really hard time too, so it was a tough time for everyone. Since I was in private first class, I was crying my eyes out, saying things like, Hyung, you need to hold the team together more diligently. We talked about a lot of things among ourselves back then, and we decided, okay, then, as soon as we return, then for us, those who have been waiting for us. I think we made that decision quite briefly at the time. And since all the members' dinners were scheduled for June and the timing worked out, I think we started setting up the song camp from the end of that year. The question was who should take on the role of captain of the song camp. Actually, the song camp is a kind of Kongli. Original session musicians are called session musicians. In English regarding sessions, I was very quite a gap. Jin and Hapobu, who had dinner first, actually went through a lot of hardship. They performed a lot and appeared many variety shows. So Smile, Animals, and Olukomu. Please. About that. Many were produced during that session. After a dinner before heading to LA, we all gathered at a pension to re-listen to the April Ligab's 4 rallings. Since many of the songs were cut, we held a session to listen to them all. The staff members, and we were there, and listening to them gave us a lot to think about. I think there were about 15 songs at the time. However, everyone had different opinions. Some friends liked this one, while others disliked it. Since all 7 of us have some experience and have all released solos, and as you can see from the solos, they are very different. So we have to release albums. 1. In the past, we would talk on the phone, especially me or Young, and just chat a little. Since we listen to a lot of music, we would mostly bring things up through things like, well, actually, it's a strength, is that all the members are very cautiously lead this and decide what is right or wrong. But back then, it was actually very difficult to do that. In fact, we made the album without setting a path. So when this album came out, I naturally thought the opinions would be divided, starting with the title itself. But as a player participating in this, I consider it a miracle that this album was released. I truly consider it a miracle that there was a part of the lyrics that we wanted to blend in even more deeply. So White Body was originally a very sexual song called Body on Body. If I remember correctly, it was something like I need some body on body. On body. Meaning bodies overlapping. You get the general idea. So since we were doing a sexual song, a scene that could be forced just by staging it. So I really loved that moment too, but seeing Hobie dancing so energetically next to me while I was just reacting like this, I was seriously in a panic. I thought choosing Irang as the title was a good idea because, of course, the word Arirang itself is actually quite, how should I put it? It's a very narrow word with limited usage and meaning, but if you look at it broadly, there's Jongshariran, Kyongki, Arirang, and all that. For a long time, there was a period of separation for us. The times have changed, and we couldn't just sit still. The question was, how much will we change when we do change? In that sense, for this song, I just wanted to return to my original self. So, time between dog and wolf, huh? In that time when dogs and wolves are indistinguishable. The faces of beasts are shattered and humans flee, yet they rebel against commotion and lingering regrets. But I want to go to that house where you are waiting. There, the grass rises and those fall. I am suffering in the fire now. I am suffering inside the firehouse. Oh, yet I want to go back there again. To a night where the bridge does not rise. I think this song is truly a great example of what we have done before. It is sophisticated, yet it retains the flavor we have cherished. Also, this hook, Follow Into the Sun, is something everyone can sing along to. It is a fantastic song that wraps up the album just like you here, and I think people know. In fact, most people feel the same way, even for me. I myself had just learned about reels for the first time in the military. Back then, I just thought, oh, this really hits the intuitive side. Hey, this is hilarious. Wow, this song is a total stunner. Listening to things like that and hearing fast tempo tracks like Digicore that you makes me feel like there's less and less room for people like me to. It feels like we have entered an era where even if we try to tell a story, it doesn't get conveyed, or where it is incredibly difficult to get it across. There is so much good content out there, and we no longer read books or want to think stuff. We just want entertainment to remain entertainment enjoyable. But suddenly I feel so much more at ease living my own life, and I totally understand. I see that side of myself, and seeing that just made me think a lot. Because I still believe in the power of lyrics. Personally, I tend to believe in the power of lyrics. Blow is thus gave by an artist's words, and melody, and love life moving forward. What I learned while going through my solo career is how to convey a story through sound without necessarily writing it down in words. But regarding BTS, I actually think that the many new rookies, singers, and groups that have already emerged are doing a great job of representing the current era and delivering those interesting things. As for us, I'm not sure about solo artists. Everyone is different. But for BTS, I hope even if we don't pour out our emotions through lengthy lyrics, we remain to convey stories, whether personal, universal, about love, or about anything else. I want to uphold this, but I think that as the times go by, people don't want stories anymore. They seem to want entertainment or things disguised as stories. And that might be well-crafted stories, of course. But there are stories that are a bit dark, sad, or uncomfortable. That mean discomforts we experience in our lives as humans. I feel like things other than things, that is enjoyment and an excess of positivity, are becoming very urbanized. Even I am following that algorithm, wondering, am I doing the same? Am I different from what I'm doing now? If I am a listener, is it different if I'm a reader? Well, I also sometimes throw out a book and go back to the reels if it gets too serious. You do that, but it's different when you are a producer. But still, I hope BTS continues to preserve that romance. That is my personal on album release, so the album just passes by, as if it never happened. As if it never happened. There are so many artists, including us. So I just think most of our founders want to create something that lasts and is loved for a long time. Music these days isn't just about listening or watching. It involves combining so many things: performances, merchandise, documentaries, and I think we are a team. And I think creates a comprehensive experience, and that is what tells a story. I think we are that kind of brand. I've said a lot of pretentious things, but it comes down to one thing: just love. Sincerely. We've come this far, and there have been so many things that have happened along the way. Even though I'm scared to turn on this live stream to speak to you all right now, make me weak, I want to talk. The thing is, if I don't turn it on now, I feel like I won't turn it on when I go back to Korea. Also, to move on to the next leg, it's already been almost a year since I made this Arirang album. I felt like I might forget Songy's memories. So I wanted to leave a record of it. Sometime in the future, if I have the time, I want to share the stories about my solo career, indie and RPW, that have unfolded over the years. I probably won't go on track by track like this, but I just want to share the thoughts that come to mind. So I believe that the fact that I, someone like you, have gone out of my way to spend an hour speaking to you, and that 3.7 million of you have come in to watch this, a meaningful struggle of mine. I hope this helps you understand that you love us, and that this album helps you under my decisions, my yellow words, and the hidden sides of me. Anyway, I'll stop here. I have another performance tomorrow, so my voice is going to be hoarse. Thank you for watching. I will always think carefully about what is important and what I am doing. Thank you always, and I want to say that I truly love you. I'll be going now. Tomorrow's the last